Look at the bag you saw over here, ladies.
So what are we doing here? Tell the people.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
All right. I am livingishe reviews. The whole word, livingishe reviews. All one word. Nope. And this is
Lisa, also known as the Alkali Yogi.
And this is
A rant. Not a
this is a
proper
Meet
review.
to Keston Jones rant.
True. Welcome to our channel. Meet Tekeste and Jones. 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 You should know it by now.
First off, drinking a smoothie. A smoothie. Smoothie or smoothie. This was made by Alkali Yogi. If you go to her home channel, Alkali Yogi, she has a video on how to make this healthy AF smoothie. And it is a blueberry and banana smoothie made with fresh organic fruit. And I ain't gonna tell you what else is in it, but if you don't want to eat, or if you don't feel like eating, it's like a meal in itself.
How does it taste? Does it
It's
taste
like
good?
a dessert to me.
Does it taste good? Let the people know what your thoughts are.
Do desserts taste good?
Yeah, they do.
It's great. It is like,
See how I was
gosh,
fishing?
for real.
Fishing for that compliment.
Dope. Oh, is that what it was? I missed. I be missing all the things.
I'm just messing.
All right, so today we're discussing. I'm gonna discuss it. She gonna rant about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're here to review.
Not really a review recap, more like a rant.
A rant of Ready to Love, season 6 or 5 reunion.
Season 6, yeah, part 1 and 2, the reunion.
Part 1 and 2 of the reunion.
While
So,
I'm sipping my tea, we'll spill some tea in case you've not caught it yet.
all right. So we'll start with episode 1, the first part of the reunion. And they started off with like, well, let me say, who was best dressed?
Interesting. Well, all right, I'm going to say I thought Joy's dress was very flattering. So I really enjoyed Joy's dress. Oh, I guess you didn't. That face is not over the smooth.
No.
That was over Joy's dress.
Yeah.
I thought, man, I think people were, maybe Sabrina was kind of, yeah, her dress was cute, although there was so much poof and material here. She didn't get to show off her cute little body. And maybe Carmen, I don't know. Here's my thing with these reunions. I always find that they're dressing like they're going to like a prom as like full adults.
Like a gala ball.
Yeah, it's like over the top. I think it's a reunion. You can afford to be flirty, sexy, fun, a little bit younger. I'm not sure why they treat it like they're going to the Oscars.
Yeah,
with gowns
that's
that
more
aren't.
like what I think. They like they going to the Oscars, but
But
the
with
AMAs.
gowns that aren't nearly as refined as the Oscar gowns. No shade.
No, AMAs. Oscars, tux and right. Oh yeah.
But the women are wearing evening gowns, like, you know, full on with trains and everything. So I'm not really sure why it has to be that formal, because it's not like the men are wearing ties and bows. They're wearing like fitted jackets, you know. Yes, some of them have Louis Vuittons,
a few had
a button-up shirt.
No, a few had on tuxes. Like
Tux?
Paul.
Who had a tux?
Paul had a tux.
A proper tux?
It was a semi-formal tux, sort of. And a couple of them had, they for the most part they had tux shirts. But yeah, the guys were semi-formal, I would say. Donovan was pretty. No, he was semi-formal. Yeah, he was casual. Yeah, I think Paul was the only one that tried that kind of made it, because he had the jacket. That was the thing. His jacket made it not so formal.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like Tiffany's dress. Stephanie? Tiffany.
Who's Tiffany? Who's
the one that got left. The one that got off first.
Oh, that Tiffany. Oh, yes, the one with the beautiful locks.
That I forgot.
Well, because
she got locks.
No, the beautiful, as in hair locks, not as in like locks. Her beautiful hair. Yes, she looked cute. Yeah, I just think in general, like, I would like to see people. And again, I'm not a fashionista.
But nobody was really showing their cleavage like they normally do.
True.
Except for the very first lady who got.
Right.
Who got.
Keena or King?
Yeah. She got Kanan.
Keena or
Keenan or whatever. But you know what I'm talking about, because she was the
very
first one.
Yeah, the short petite
that got let go from her job on Ready to Love.
Good job. She was released from her contract.
For the guys, let's see. What I would have worn. I would have worn. I could have dressed like, you know, if I go to the store, I want that one. I would say I would want to get the Demetrius special. I liked what kind of like what Tori had on. I like the Versace shirt that Wiley had on. I kind of like what he was doing. It was kind of mismatched. It was like, didn't make sense. So sometimes you don't gotta match everything.
Oh, for sure.
And I like Paul's jacket.
That's literally the London look. Is like the mix and don't match, but no one does it better than London is.
And you know what? I would only do. No, I would say I actually like Laverne's outfit. I would wear that.
Okay, well,
that's
you know
just
what?
Like, hey, this is me, who I am.
Right. Initially I didn't, but now that you've said that, I would like to change my opinion. Yeah, because it was original. He stood out, and it wasn't like so formal, like again, like they're going to a ball or the Oscars or the White House, which they're not. It's a reunion of a seemingly ratchet show now. No, I'm just kidding. Not quite, but you know, it has changed since season 1 and 2.
It was just DC one that had DC Potomac.
DC just took it to a whole other level. Not up here, but so let's see what Miami does. My guess is they're going to take it a little bit lower, no offense.
Wow.
But it'll be good entertainment. It'll give us loads of material to work with. But generally speaking, I think like a more youthful look, especially for the ladies, would be a nice, refreshing change. Because a lot of these gowns, they come up a bit promish, almost like beauty pageants. Just too much embellishment going on. They're very, very busy. It just doesn't feel modern, easy, flowy, and cool to me. It just feels like heavy, and it's like just a lot of material, a lot of bling. So they rarely hit the mark. So I'm not going to say DC is worse than any other city. I just think as Black people who've got such great style, you know, just ease up a little bit. That's all. Have fun with it.
Okay, so, well, since we got that out the way, we got, I think, hold on.
Bye, Mr. Ishé. He's dropped out of the shop.
Okay.
What is happening?
So.
You can't tell people what you were doing.
No, because this is gonna be edited out.
I reckon you leave it in.
You would. Blue. Okay, so then we go to. They start showing the blind dates, because of course that's how a few characters got introduced. Watch this clip. I always want to be. We don't have a clip. We just talking. We might have some pictures up there. All right, so Tina Yeah, she was the main thing because, the blind dates were Cornelius and AP, Donovan and Tina and Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody said the dates worked out for them well, except for Tina. She's the only one that was like, didn't work for me.
By the way, Tina's been doing the circuits on the YouTube, giving interviews and background information on how the production works. It's been very informative.
Yeah.
So it really has taken down the fourth wall, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Tina was just, from the start, she was just not feeling the whole process. They should have wore a t-shirt that said "Be Grateful" like they did on
90 Days.
Yeah.
Tina was always going to be a wild card, and it would surprise me if she was invited back to do any reality TV show again, because she didn't play within the the line. She didn't color within the lines.
Yeah, she was just not. I'm surprised she made it to the show, to the reunion.
Yeah, me too.
But they went through the blind dates, and they played Cornelius Cornbread.
Teddy.
They played his "I'm cute, I'm cuddly, and I'm safe." That was a quote from him. Who else? They just went through all those blind dates again.
Yeah, we did a little bit of a
recap.
recap.
And we got the worst thing that happened from. We forgot Eric the chef. His blind date, which is why we wanted to talk about that, because he was a blind date that worked and then it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because him and Dekia almost got into some
mess. It seems
some mess on the show.
Mm-hmm. And it got messy too. Since we're not doing a full recap here, we're not going to go through it scene by scene. We're just going to kind of hop around. So we kind of already not complained, but commented on the fashions. They were like, whatever. Neither here nor there, can take it, can leave it. The really big things that stood out from the part 1 reunion was, first of all, 2 couples showed up still together.
Did you put strawberries in here too? The ones that fresh ones we bought?
No, not yet. I will in the next smoothie.
I mean, it tastes good. I was wondering, was it strawberries in here too?
No, you were right. It's blueberries.
We just got some fresh strawberries.
But
anyway,
we went to the farmer's market today. Woo woo! But yeah, so just to give you, those of you that have not seen it yet, the two couples that walked away from the show are still together, which are Clifton and Joy and Donovan and Carmen. They both kind of showed up, whatever, they were seated, next to Tommy to show that they're still together.
Farce.
I mean, who knows how long that's going to last anyways, but we wish you luck. I mean, nothing personal. We wish you all the best for all 4 of you, both couples. But the big thing really were the altercations between Sabrina and everyone. Not really everyone, but
Sabrina versus everyone.
Yeah, kind of defending herself and how she, in the end, after having so many connections and so many, having her sort of quote unquote boundaries and wanting to, fulfill the process or see it through till the end, and then to walk away literally at the very end, and why that was an issue. There was a bit of contention there between her, Demetrius, her and Tori thing. Then her and Joy got into it. We saw an ugly side of Sabrina in this situation. We'll get to Joy's ugly side too. Well, she became uglier a little bit later on. But what were your thoughts about Sabrina and how she defended herself as to why she, in the end, despite all the connections and kissing Donovan multiple times and having Tori on a leash and Demetrius being her top choice, she ended up with no one in the end. So what say you as a man? Do you want to chime in? Because she defended how that turned out, but what did you take from it? BS, or was there any validity to what she was saying?
No, she just had a problem with everybody, even the guys. Like, she was on Tori, she was on his, Johnson in the beginning, and then she wanted to explore more. So she kind of left him hanging, and then she, she went to do Demetrius, and you know, she was saying that he wasn't pursuing her enough, but she picked him. He wasn't pursuing it at all. Mainly, maybe once when he was at this at the pool party, beach party. So I don't know. I just called BS, and then she was you know, on Donovan because he was new, and I think she just wanted to see if she can be the one to win him because everybody was on him. I think she was just playing that game. But then she was chopping. She's so small, but she's just like, you can't push her down. She just like a.
And if you do, she bounces right up. Like
yeah, she's just like no. She'll just be like this, and you can't move her.
At the car dealerships.
Oh yeah, she getting up.
She comes right back up. The inflatable.
But yeah, she is man. It's like no. It's like you can't kill her. You can't push her. You can't punch her. But she got all this power, and they're like, why? So
she's a lot of might in a small package.
Yeah, so she, you know, she got all those guys as far as she wanted to go before she spit them out. Yeah. And then, you know, I was really sorry for what's the dude? Tory.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just called BS on that one.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to know whether it was editing. We don't obviously know everything that went behind the scenes, but she definitely didn't come out looking like she was in it for real. She was a little bit nitpicky at certain things. She had a reason why she shouldn't move forward with everyone that was interested in her and that she seemingly was interested in. So that was a little bit, it was a bit disappointing because, you know, we're rooting to watch mature people fall in love. That's what the show is about, and that's why we tune in. Instead, what we got with her seemingly were a lot of games. Now, some people really like that. I was listening to Little Black Book 91, for instance, who loved the fact that she is a villain and can play the game. But, you know, it's a little bit disingenuous. I guess it makes for good telly. At the same time, you're just like, well, where's the real love? Like, where are the people that are going to get together and, you know, build a future together so that we can check in with them again in 2, 3, 5 years down the line and see how they're doing. So it was what it was. Let's talk about the blow up between Eric and Dakia. What say you, Living Ishé?
Case of misread, misunderstood, misinterpreted. Like he must have missed something. But see, I see both sides on that one, and it was stupid for them to argue because he was getting kind of pissed because he was kind of like, yeah, that night she explained the night what happened and. You know, that they was taking pictures and he put his hand somewhere. I wish she would have said where. Come on, like.
My guess is.
It could have been there, could have been there, could have been up.
Oh, okay.
Could have been, you know, so it's like, okay, I wonder where. Or if he did this, then you that much of a prude. If he like just maybe play with your belly. I don't know. But with her explaining that, and he was like, look, I already apologized to you. That same night, I called you and apologized because I didn't know what was going on. She was like, you could have apologized earlier. And he was like, how could I apologize earlier if I didn't know there was a problem? I heard it from somebody else that you had the problem. It was dumb. Like, that stuff was over. But she would not just accept his apology. She just wanted more and more. Like, she wanted him to grovel or something. Like, he apologized. And like I know, you know, nobody should be touched if they don't want to or the way they don't want to. But when a man apologized, you know, y'all could. And he even got off the show. He left the show like he was sorry. That shows remorse. So why is she was still like mad, still clamoring for this apology. He apologized. He was just getting annoyed.
See, I think it's interesting because I think different people will view it different ways, not unlike that infamous dress. I don't know if you guys remember, like ages ago. Gosh, it was ages and ages ago when that dress was going around. Is it white and gold or is it blue? And do you remember? And literally like two people sitting next to each other would look at the same dress, the image of the same dress, and see two different things. So I saw it slightly different, but I can appreciate it. To me, it seemed like he was being a bit of a bumhole because he was just he got irate. He started cursing.
I don't agree with that. Like,
she hadn't done that.
He shouldn't have got like he shouldn't have showed his frustration.
Yeah,
he should just kind of like
kept it cool.
I apologize. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Exactly. Should have been a little bit more mature. I would have liked that. Because again, someone has to take the higher road. I don't think it's a good idea when both people try to drop down low. But in her defense, though, she did say that right away. She turned around and said, "Don't do that. I'm not that kind of lady." And apparently, he didn't apologize at that moment. He followed up with a text later. So I think what she was trying to get across was, I would have liked for you to apologize. The minute I stopped you, I turned around and I said to you, "Get your hands off of me." She said it in her own words. She would have liked an apology to have come at that moment. We don't know what transpired in that moment instead of an apology, but obviously something else did. But the apology did come later on that evening. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, at that point, it was a good idea to just walk away from it and leave it alone. Both of them go their separate ways. So I think there's maybe some blame to be had both sides. But it started with him and doing something silly and foolish in front of other adults. I don't know. We weren't there. We weren't there for the Phil and Shiloh thing either. So no one's ever going to know, other than those two people, what it was really like for each one of them. But I don't think that Eric came out looking great. I just think he could have held his composure a little bit better. So for me, he lost some points when he lost his cool.
Yeah, I know Tommy was asking her to explain her side, no, not her side, but her feelings about the whole thing, and she was just conveying what she felt, that she wanted that apology earlier, which we know it can't happen because it already passed. Yeah. So maybe Eric had a few drinks before the reunion, and he just, couldn't keep it together.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, because let's be honest, he's not the only one that was on alert that night. Precious was, from any interaction we saw with Precious, she was tense. I'm not sure what happened with her either. She was tense when it came to the, because there was also apparently a situation. If you guys remember when Laverne was eliminated, he basically said that there was a conspiracy to get him off the show, which is why he was so rude as he was exiting the show when Sabrina was trying to let him know that he had been eliminated. So she was hot there, and she was hot also. Oh, she was also hot towards Demetrius, but that was in the second part of the reunion. So she was just on something. So both her and Eric, to me, just came off looking like they were, in the words of Demetrius, high maybe? I don't know. Like they were on something. They needed to take a yoga class with me, or Ace, because she's also a yoga teacher, before going to that reunion. Because you see how Ace was just unbothered. Ace was just, she was chill.
Yeah. I don't know if they was insinuating that she started the mess, like by telling Laverne what the other girls were saying.
No, I think Ace was in the clear. I think the attack was really on Precious. And she was hot with everyone, primarily, well, not everyone, she was hot with Demetrius and Laverne. She was definitely going after them. So
that's probably where it started, her heat.
I think she was just, to be honest with you, I think Dakia and Precious this season were odd choices for this. Actually, there were a lot of odd choices for this cast. Because as attractive and accomplished and as smart as Dakia is, she gives a little bit of auntie vibe. She didn't feel like she meshed well with this group of people, me personally. And Precious too. She didn't give me auntie vibes, but she gave me... Okay, I'm just going to say it. She didn't give me sophistication vibes.
Yeah, she's still into the roughnecks problem.
Yeah.
thugs.
I think that I'm sure she's a lovely person, but she didn't fit well, I think, and partly was the comb over. It didn't hit the mark. I don't know what she was going for with that look, because she's, not unattractive. She has a great figure. She's tall. But yeah, but she's a little bit loud. Which I can relate to. I'm also loud. She just didn't have the,
sophistication.
yeah, I can't think of another term for me, but what say you?
She just like, so I don't know, for me, and I know a few people that think like me, when we hear a girl with a husky voice, we know she had to raise her voice a lot or cried a lot when she was little. And it's usually when you growing up in the hood or a lower income area. So she was hood as she could be.
Really?
I just heard her voice when she was on the show, and then at the reunion, she confirmed my suspicion, my hypothesis, because she got so hood. Like, if you arguing with a man, like, you can tell she fought men before.
She turned up, yeah, for sure.
You can tell, because you don't call a man a B. Why would you call a man a bitch? Like,
right.
I know she was, and I don't think he would have got up and hit her, but if she was in a different room with different dudes and she pulled that, like, but she probably would have liked it. Or she probably would have, I don't know. People get off on certain things, but she was like, she just lost, like, she didn't have no couth, like, you're at a professional, kind of formal award. I mean, not award, but reunion. This is TV, national TV. Yeah. And she just forgot. I was like, is she really in this circle? Are these her peers where you all supposed to be, everybody, for what it seems, all like making over six figures and sophisticated Black excellence. That's what everybody portrays. So I'm thinking that should be with everybody. But she, her side that she held in, she composed for the whole time of the show that she was on before she got removed, ejected. And it was like, was it Demetrius who said, "Why you mad? Because I just didn't like you"? Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, I wasn't into you. And when they said party girl, you know what they want to say? They want to say club girl, which they wanted to say hood girl. Somebody that hang out, a hood rat. That's what they meant by that.
Wow.
That's my theory. But she just showed, a bad side that shouldn't be shown on TV. We got enough of these ratchet reality shows, and that was ratchet. That was so ratchet. You can't get more ratchet.
Yeah.
When she got up, I was like, uh-oh, but I don't think she that dumb to go and try to swing on him, but
thank God she didn't.
I bet if it wasn't on TV, she would have went and got in his face. It would have been a whole bunch of this.
You reckon? Oh, more of Zadia?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See?
Oh, man.
Last season was Zadia.
As well.
This season, what's her name?
Precious. Yeah, Precious.
Precious.
Well, I mean, she didn't put hands on anyone, but she definitely was very irate. Interesting theory about the husky voice. I actually thought that men would find that sexy, so I didn't know about this hypothesis. But viewers, let us know, and especially the men.
Or she smoked cigarettes.
Let us know your thoughts and whether or not you also have a similar hypothesis. I just always assumed that guys might find that a very sexy bedroom-like voice, but this is new to me. But I think that's what hurt her.
I guess it could be sexy in different contexts.
I mean,
but I don't want to hear no man voice.
Fair enough. To each his own.
Well, I ain't gonna say she got a man voice. I'm just saying,
it's
like, a girl voice is, a woman's voice is sweet. A little high pitch.
Okay. I think she felt that no one was truly interested in her, and I think that is the reason why she was always hot. And just because we always
was trying a lot.
We always saw her in the pursuit of men, but we didn't see men pursuing her. That's why I say she was an odd choice. Actually, AP was too, the holistic lifestyle coach. She also read a little bit auntie, like she like she shouldn't have been there. So it was almost like, and not to be offensive, but just to call it out for how we see it as viewers, it was almost like they took the people that didn't make the cut for the first go around in DC, and they're just like, you know what, let's just throw another season together here. That's kind of what it felt like, because there were so many people that just were just odd choices. We're just odd choices, you know, that just didn't feel like they belonged in the group. I agree. Right? So, and Precious was one of those people, and I think that ultimately at the end of the day, I think it hurt her to her core that she stood back and saw a lot of other women being pursued, the Carmens, the Joys, the Sabrinas, by multiple people, Takia even to a degree, although not as much as the other ladies, to be honest, and that just no one really and truly pursued her. Nobody really had that interest in her. And I think she took that to heart. I think she really did. So, and I don't blame her. I would have taken it to heart too, because she was improperly cast. She should have never been casted. That's the long and short of it.
I wonder what choice that was. I know they want to get maybe a different kind of woman, but the same. But yeah, that was way. It was
off. Because even though she said that her strongest connection was Paul, did we see Paul pursue her? And it could have been the editing as well, but I didn't see Paul pursue her. I saw Paul putting his effort elsewhere. I didn't see.
Did she say that was her strongest connection?
She did, yeah.
Wow.
And I saw her lusting after I saw her lusting after Donovan. I saw her lusting after Demetrius. I didn't see anyone lusting for her.
Yeah.
And we all know, well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't speak in such general terms, but generally speaking, don't come for me. Women want to be pursued. They want to be hunted, right? But she was doing the hunting. So, and when it wasn't reciprocated, I think it got to her.
Yeah.
Anyways, why don't we quickly talk about the second one, which actually picks up, the second reunion special picks up with Precious and Laverne going at it. And her basically calling him the N-word. Are we allowed to say that without getting a striker?
Who called what?
Precious referred to Laverne as a. Can we say the N-word?
I think we can say that.
Not the Negro, but you know, the mental illness. You guys know what I mean.
Narcissist.
Were you guys picking up what I was putting down? The point is, that's where it ended. Part one ended there, and then it picked up there. So we just saw that back and forth. We didn't see any resolution. She did come off hood, like.
Yeah.
Let me not say that, because you know what? I'm not even American.
Let me apologize. I get it. Husky voice. I can't say every husky voice from the hood. I'm just saying.
We're not trying to make general statements.
It's just been my experience.
Yeah.
Most of the girls I knew with a husky voice was hoodish. Even my ex-wife, she had a husky voice, but she smoked. She smoked cigarettes, and she was still, yeah. So I guess my theory is true for me. If anybody out there who is really sophisticated and but you have a husky voice and you don't smoke, then you're a outlier. There's lots of outliers on my theory. So
fair enough.
Yeah. When she was arguing with Laverne, that was funny, because Laverne was funny. I just thought, like, he wasn't really arguing back, but he was just like, you cussed me out on the three-way. You cussed me out. Like, and then she said he was lying. And he was like, you cussed me out on a three-way. There was other people there. I'm not lying. So I don't know who was lying in that one.
It was a mess.
Yeah.
It was just a mess. It was not what I wanted to see at a reunion where everyone was overdressed and pretending to be very classy. I mean, why even bother dressing like that if you guys are going to be conducting yourselves this way? So DC hit another first for me, personally.
I mean, but it was a first too. Well, we also in the age where, like, if you don't want to associate with nobody, you what? block them, right? We had Tina talking about, she came backstage, she was like talking to Keenan, she was like, sorry, but I blocked everybody. I just want you, don't take it personal. It's not nothing against you. I just didn't want nothing to do with nobody. Like, that don't even sound like it's wrong.
Man.
Cause she ghosted the production.
Everyone.
Was, and that was funny though, but her ex was right. When she don't want to do, when she mad, she will block you. She will ghost you in a second. And she did that to the T. That was so weird. Like, I thought he was just like going on like my husky voice thing. I thought he was just, exaggerating, but that was true.
Yeah.
And then you had AP said she blocked Laverne.
Well, a few people have said that Laverne is negative. So I think that Laverne is definitely, he's a lot to handle. I'm not going to say that he's a narcissist. I don't know him from a can of paint. But he's a lot to handle. He's not the easiest person to get along with. And look, in fact, we also discovered in part 1, just to go back for a second, that actually Ace eliminated so that she could continue to see him once he was eliminated. And they did it for a short period of time because it didn't work out. So and Ace, and again, not to judge and so broadly also, she seems like she's fairly easy to get along with. Granted, I've not been in a relationship with her, so obviously
it's like if you don't get along with Ace, something wrong.
But that's the energy that she gives off. Whereas Laverne, you could tell he's a little bit, in Italiano we say testono, like testone, like head of rocks, hard-headed, yeah, testone. So he's a lot, I think, to handle. But moving on, because we want to be finished with this whole season. And we really just want to rant a little bit. I think at this point we more or less get to Joy and Clifton, and it's like, actually before Joy and Clifton, we see Dakia and Joy kind of going at it, which is really, really disappointing. This whole season, Joy seemed really easygoing, similar to Ace, actually. I thought their energies were similar. Like they were vibrating at a similar frequency, except that Joy's a little bit more tomboyish, obviously fiercely independent, etc., etc. But just that she's a girl that loves to have a laugh, that she can really just like let her hair out and just, she's somebody cool to, just kick back with. But the side that we saw of Joy on the couch, now that she's like, this is my man, Clifton belongs to me, how dare you? We don't know what happened again fully behind the scenes. We're getting bits and pieces here now that everyone is doing their rounds in terms of interviews.
Yeah, somebody said they can take Clifton from her.
She apparently, she said it, but it was taken out of context, and she was vexed that was even said. So it's hard to comment on something if we don't know the context. It could have been said in jest, lightheartedly, as a joke, or it could have been said sincerely. But let's not forget, this is a process, and they treat it like a competition, so we'll even refer to it as such. What was Dakia supposed to do? She treated it like a competition. Yeah, she was playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. Right, and you won. You have what you believe is the prize, right? You're Clifton. So I don't. And then it got worse when Clifton and when it was Clifton and Joy against Dakia. Yeah. Because it felt like they were tag teaming her. But they was acting like that about everybody, I think. I didn't care for the way that they tag teamed her. I didn't care for that, and you could see that Dakia was visibly hurt, because basically Joy, again, for those of you that haven't seen it, was like, Dakia basically said, I would have just liked to have known as a courtesy that you had made your choice by the time that we went away on our getaway retreat, the overnight retreat, because obviously you guys had decided beforehand to share a room. At that point, you were basically saying, that's it. I'm no longer available to see anyone else. And they both said, no, we didn't owe you that. We didn't owe you that courtesy. But what does it behoove you to not give a courtesy to somebody? Like, what do you benefit from that? You can say that, and maybe there's truth in that. I would say that there's truth to you not giving the courtesy, and there's truth that, I would say that you could argue both sides of that coin, right? Yeah, why he just say, I didn't want to hurt your feelings? Yeah, like he could have been like, nice about it, but he had to be like, they was like, yeah, there was a team. Yeah. And she was, Joy was happy. I guess the first guy who really, she,
you know, she wasn't about to play the whole thing. She was just like, no, I ain't got time to do this. The guy that I really get along with on the first date, you know.
She chose her guy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the both of them, had they not wanted to, quote unquote, complete the process, they could have self-eliminated themselves early on.
Yeah.
The fact that they chose to stay till the end is either, you know, because your ego and you're wanting to prove it, and you're treating it like the competition, which it appears to be now. It's more like a competition than a dating show at this point, right? Or I don't even have any other reason. Why else would you stay? Because if you're going to stay, by virtue of you choosing to stay to the end, you have to go through the quote unquote process of still being open. You wouldn't make it to the end if you were not available to date anyone else. They wouldn't keep you on.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think Dakia was wrong. I mean, what?
No, I don't.
What do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, Dakia, I mean, it's coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know. They could have told, you know, he could have told her he was making this decision. She could have just said, oh, I see he's busy, and like, okay, I guess he ain't into me, or he really don't want me. But, you know, we don't know, because apparently people kiss behind the scenes and they get a certain indication that, okay, you mine, just like Eric and Dakia. He said that they was kissing, making out, you know, off camera before that day, and that's why he thought, oh, I think we're a thing. Cool, yeah. But apparently, you know, a lot of people can't read the signs. But I want to go back to Precious.
Oh, go for it.
Because I remember she was fighting with Donovan now, and when he called her the Golden Girls, and he was like, hold on, Golden Girls, and she said, yo, played out ass. What was she referring to? Him trying to look like Genuine?
Maybe. I mean, I could see that a little bit. No shade.
I was like, wow, like played out as. All right, but yeah, it was Sabrina versus everybody, and it was
Precious versus everybody. And it was Clifton and Joy as well versus a couple of people, or maybe just Kia. I don't know. Yeah. But I didn't care for it.
Yeah. Carmen got into it with somebody too.
Carmen, the supervillain, I thought she was going to be the supervillain because she kind of made herself out to be that way at the beginning. Did she? She didn't really.
Nah, the villain, we know that was Sabrina.
Now that she's booed up, she's like, I have to keep it classy. I'm not going to embarrass myself and my man. You know, she carried herself more like a lady now that she has booed up with one of her
She ain't really flashing.
She wasn't flashing the girls. You know, and if she did pick a fight, we certainly didn't see it. But yeah, back to the Joy and Clifton thing. I just want to say also, I want to add that by virtue of Clifton saying, well, couldn't you tell it was obvious that our connection was so strong? Why did you need me to verbalize that I had made a decision? By virtue of even you admitting that is, you know, you could have just done the humane thing and just offered the courtesy of like, hey, the truth is, I know we have a connection, but as you can see, something stronger is developing here. I'm going to be over here pursuing this at this point.
That's what Donovan did. He told
Sabrina. He told Sabrina that. Hey, that's right. It's a courtesy. Yeah. And people, I've seen people defend you know, Joy and Clifton saying that there wasn't a courtesy wasn't needed because everyone could tell, unless you were blind, that their connection was really strong. And I'm not saying that it wasn't, but I'm just saying, why are we downplaying communication?
Yeah, like, it's supposed to be adults, and you know, adults are supposed to communicate and be transparent.
Exactly. We all learned as children that making assumptions makes an ass out of me and you, right? So, and it's ultimately an assumption unless it's verbalized. To me, anything that's not verbalized and clearly communicated is an assumption. So why are we making that the norm? So I get what other people are saying on the internet. I've heard, trust me, I've seen all of the comments in the various discussions. Like, Dakia played herself. She should have been wiser. She needs to grow up. She needs to know better. She's too, you know, she's lived too long on this planet to have been that naive.
Everybody's got a different perception about everything.
Everyone's going to have different perceptions, but I'm just saying, let's not normalize not being good and clear communicators. because those are assumptions. Anytime you see somebody move and they haven't told you that they've made a decision and you're going to come to a conclusion on your own, that's an assumption, period. Right? Because then that person could also turn around and say, no, you were mistaken. Yeah, I did do this, but for me, this means X, Y, and Z. You should have just asked me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you're making it more complicated. And they just came off as mean. So, good luck to you guys, Joy and Clifton. I can't say that I am a fan, but I'm also not wishing you any ill will.
Or maybe Dakia just is used to men who are direct, and he wasn't direct with her.
Well, listen, I'll tell you something. As somebody that was, brought up in Europe, I'm all for being direct. So I think that we already struggle, even as people that speak the same languages, we already struggle to communicate. As sexes, different sexes, we struggle to communicate. Why make things even more complicated by asking people to figure it out in their minds? You're just adding
take it out of your head and give it to
where
me.
the people can see it.
Yeah, because take it out of there so I can see what you're talking about.
It lives in here. Take it out. So that was my rant. And Dakia, she also announced that she has a boo.
Yeah.
She's with somebody, so we're happy. I'm happy that you found someone, girl.
And the guy who said he's going to choose himself after she said, before she said she's going to choose herself, he said he got a fine dime brizzle, or what do you say? The dime piece?
Something like that. He has a PYT, basically.
Hot little,
young thing.
Yeah, I'm sure, you got that exposure.
Yep.
Everybody seemed like they got somebody, and we saw Tori getting with what's her name, Tiffany.
No, Wiley and Tiffany.
Wiley, yeah.
Wiley and Tiffany.
Tori
Tori will be fine if he's not found someone yet.
Yeah. Why you think he'd be fine?
He's a good-looking bloke. He dresses well, and he seems to be genuinely in the pursuit of a relationship. So I didn't see him playing games.
Yeah.
I saw him being also very direct and trying to get to the point. So. Well,
my rant actually of this show is, why didn't Cornbread and Fernando say anything? Like they got no parts. Oh yeah, I know why. Because Fernando was gone after day 2, and what's the name? Cornelius Cornbread. He was gone in 2 days. So, but dang, they ain't give him no camera time. They showed him once or twice. Oh man, I hope they at least got paid to be there. Come on. Man, Tommy could have gave them some kind of question. How did y'all feel about the experience? Something. I don't like the reunion shows.
Yeah.
I want to see them, but I don't really I kind of don't, but I would check it out, and then after it's done, I'm like, man, I shouldn't have watched that. That was nothing.
I know. So overall, should we rate this thing? Wrap it up.
1 and 2, reunion. As far as reunions go, it was 5 out of 10. It was average. I don't feel up or down about it. It's nothing new.
And overall, what would you give the entire season?
This season? I'd give it about a 6.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 6. Just because we got to see some cool places around the city and surrounding Virginia and Maryland. And yeah, I mean, other than the scenery, it was too many blind dates, too many curveballs. I like what when they was in Houston, just keep that same one. That's what I think. Keep that same, thing. Formula. Maybe one introduce somebody in, but after the second day, when somebody go home, yeah, that's what they did. Or they tried it in DC the first time, but I think they introduced the curveballs later, or was it earlier? I think it was a little in between. But I think in the beginning of the show is good, but I don't know. It was yeah. This season I would give it a 6. It wasn't better than the last season. I thought it was gonna be. I was really hoping, I was like, okay, this is good. But I think what did it for me was I hate when it was the Camille. I really didn't like that season. Now that I think I did a little bit, but when Camille grabbed on to Cornelius and then Joy and Clifton, like man, every time they do that, it kind of like puts a damper on everything. and if they do, what it should end up like what's her name and that what was that rapper dude, the country dude you couldn't understand?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Bernicia and
from
Joel.
Louisiana. Yeah, I could not understand.
Oh, but they walked away together though. But it didn't. We found out it didn't work like a couple of weeks after that.
By the time they got to the reunion, they weren't together.
Yeah, so I guess they've been doing the same thing pretty much the last 3 seasons. And
success rate is just virtually non-existent. But we'll see. Maybe Joey
I hope
Clifton.
they cast a little better. Like
the
I didn't like
season.
the comb overs. I didn't like the bobs, bangs.
He has a thing with bangs.
I don't know. They just don't look right.
Well, Precious, I think your bangs looked way better than the wig that you were wearing throughout the season. I'm sorry, the comb over it didn't resonate with me. The bangs were for me a better option.
I think because comb overs and bangs are usually done by other culture. They just don't work. I would have rather see her with her hair pulled back and pulled up.
That would have been nice,
something.
yeah, because again, she's not unattractive, so it would have been a nice clean look, like a nice long pony. But it doesn't matter, neither here nor there, because she ended up walking off before they even finished filming. When she when she got up and was cursing at Demetrius, and he's like, "Are you high?" Because she was on something. It seemed like, I'm sure she was.
Why are you acting like a child?
She was like, and she bolted out of there in a really nice Mercedes, by the way. If that's your vehicle.
A G-Wagon.
Wow.
I wonder was she driving or was it a driver?
Yeah, I don't know, but whoever vehicle that was, really nice, very nice vehicle.
She don't need no man, I guess.
But everyone needs a man. Doesn't matter how many zeros you have in your bank account with commas.
Everyone needs a man. I didn't like it. That's my rant. I didn't like it.
Yeah. For me, the season overall, huge disappointment. My least favorite season to date. And I'm going to give both the season and the reunions part 1 and 2 a 4, or as we do in Europe, 4.
Wow.
It was
I
rubbish.
was generous then.
Production, I really hope you guys do a much better job. Ultimately, yes, we get that you need to entertain us. There needs to be some drama. But we're people of a particular age. We also want to see mature people finding love because the world needs it. You know, there's been so much bad news over the last 2 years, so much heavy stuff. Give us a happy fairy tale ending that's true and authentic and genuine. Not like the 2 that we saw, which we won't comment on. But we wish you all the best.
They are listening because last season people complained about the guys. Oh no, was that the season before? That they need to pick better guys. Like those guys weren't about anything. Oh yeah, it was the one with AJ and all of them.
The Houston crew.
Yeah, people were complaining about the choice of men. So they got, I think, a different quality of man.
Okay.
But the only thing that's working is they keeping us watching. But after we watch, we're like, man, why was I watching that?
I know.
So they kept us going with a whole season. So they doing something, but man, I don't know. More, I guess this is going to be a experiment that keeps going and going until they get the right formula.
Yep. Anyways, we are finally done with Ready to Love Season 6. We will obviously come back and fill you in on Season 7 whenever that kicks off. In the interim, though, stay tuned. Stay tuned on our channels for Love and Marriage DC.
Yeah.
Which premieres on the 14th, Saturday. Mm-hmm. So we'll have a review a few days after that. Stay posted. We hope, anyways. It might be actually a little bit delayed because we're traveling shortly thereafter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
we
we'll
might
definitely
be able to do it from location.
If we can, we will. But if not, it'll just be a couple weeks delayed. But we will definitely be reviewing this show because we are in the DMV. So it's apropos, wouldn't you say?
We would. You know what? We might give them a treat. We might do it from our location and one of the, plush areas so y'all can see a little bit of the scenery.
Potentially.
Before we get back. So, with that being said, what's your last words?
Get free and stay free.
Stay decent.
Bye.
Bye. I gotta change this chair. It's making too much noise.
Do you want to fix that first?